Good evening, everybody.
Welcome to Tasty Tuesday
with Claire and Dave. And we're so happy that you joined us. Tonight, we're going to make some cake rolls. And what are you making?
I'm going to make a white Christmas margarita.
So, things that you might want to make this week yet. And they're so tasty, so good. So, the last thing that we needed in our refrigerator were more leftovers. So we decided that we would just show you how to do a cake roll. Some of you were asking about that, and I think it's going to be something that you'll be able to do in any of these three flavors. So we're going to show you how to make a pumpkin, an angel food, and then a chocolate roll. So let's get started. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our bar pan, and I'm going to take some parchment paper. And we're just going to take enough to cover this, just like so. And then you're just going to fill it into the corners, all right? Just like this. And that is going to get you ready for your cake. We're going to set the oven at 350. And you're going to take a cake mix. And so here's the cool thing. So a friend came over last week and she brought over a gift bag and had all the ingredients in here that I would need to make this recipe. And I thought it was so cool because then all of us, there were three of us, we got together and we made this recipe all together. And we each went home with one of these cake rolls, actually two of them. So if you want to do something special for a friend, there really is nothing better than putting all the ingredients in and cooking together. It's just so much fun learning things from each other. So that's how I learned how to do this. So for this cake, it is a triple chocolate fudge. You would put this right into your bowl, and you would add 6 eggs to this recipe. And then a couple other ingredients, and I'm going to give you all the recipes. And you would mix this up and pour it into your pan, or scrape it out. And then you would want to spread it all around inside of your bar pan. And put this into the 350-degree oven only for about 15 to 20 minutes. And you want to make sure when you take it out that you use your tester just to make sure that it is completely clean. All right? So after you have removed it, we're going to go ahead and we're going to lift it off of this. And we're just going to put it onto the cooling rack. Imagine that cake sitting there. And it is a really moist cake, and that's what you want for having one of these roll cakes. So you let it sit for about 15 minutes, and what you want to do right away is you want to take your flour sugar shaker, and for the chocolate cake, maybe you have this full of cocoa. For some of the others, maybe you have it full of powdered sugar, and you just cover the whole top of this. And what that does is it creates a barrier so it doesn't stick necessarily as much to the paper, okay? So after it has been in here for about 15 minutes, then you wanna go ahead and you're gonna take this and you're gonna roll it. So imagine this cake on here, and you're just going to take the paper and the cake and you are gonna roll it up into this circle. So you're kind of bending it, kind of like you would with wood. You wanted to teach your wood how to bend. We're doing this with the cake. And then you are going to let it sit for 45 minutes. I know you're gonna wanna touch it before then, but you can't. So that's what you're doing, you're just letting it set. Then, when you unroll it, because you put all of that on here, it is going to not stick. One of these I tried not doing that, and it stuck to the paper. So it really, really works. Then you're gonna go ahead and make your mixture to put inside, okay? So for this chocolate one, we would go ahead and we would make some whipped cream with our whipped cream maker. and adding a couple ingredients. We would put that in there along with some peppermint extract, because this is going to be more of a Christmas themed with the chocolate. So the whipped cream, the peppermint, some powdered sugar, all of those are going to go inside. And you can also chop up some candy canes if you want. All right? So you are going to take your spreader and you are going to spread this over the top like so. And then you're going to go ahead and you are going to not put it at the very end, because as you're rolling this, it's going to squeeze out to the other side. So we're just going to slowly take this and spread it, and then you're going to roll it. But you're not going to roll your paper with it this time. You're just going to roll the cake, and then you're going to let it sit. So that is how you do the chocolate one. Now the really yummy part is the top, where you're going to take your micro cooker, you're going to take some heavy whipping cream and some chocolate chips. And here's where you take the Ghirardelli and you put those in, you know, that extra. You're going to put it into the microwave for about a minute, maybe 2, and then you are going to whisk away with this. And the longer you whisk, the more that you are going to have a ganache. So you're going to pour that over the top, and then you can take a candy cane, take the wrapper off, chop it up, and then you can go ahead and put that over the very top. And you're going to have such a delicious chocolate peppermint roll, and I'll send you the recipe. So I'm going to hand it over to Dave, and then I will show you how to make the other 2, and then we'll come back.
Okay, so I got to get some ice.
How much ice are you getting?
I'm going to get 1 cup of ice, I think.
All right.
Or so. Yeah, 1 cup of ice or so. Hi, that's good. All right, I'm going to make a white Christmas margarita, and it's going to be in our blender. 1 cup of ice. First thing we're going to add to that. And then this particular drink uses silver tequila. The recipe that we're going to send out is for like, what, 6? We're only going to make 2 because there's not 6 of us here. So each recipe calls for 2 ounces of tequila. So I'm going to put 4 ounces in here, right into the blender. It also calls for some triple sec. And if you remember what triple sec is, it's that orange flavored liqueur. It's going to add a little bit of tanginess to the margarita. And you're going to put about 1 ounce for each drink into that. Okay, then also it calls for some unsweetened coconut milk, which I've got right here. It's not going to call for a whole can. You'd use a whole can for the recipe that we're going to send to you. But since we're only making 2, I've divided that out. I've taken a couple ounces out of that. I'm just going to put that right in the blender as well. It also calls for some lime juice. So I'm going to freshly squeeze about 1/2 of a lime worth of juice into the blender. Whoops. Sorry, made kind of a little mess there.
Okay.
All right, and then we're going to put this blender on custom blend, and we're gonna do it for about 20 seconds or so until we get a nice smooth consistency. And then we're going to take a glass. I'm going to use a lowball glass tonight, and I'm going to rim it with some lime juice from a lime. And then the sugar that I'm going to use is not your basic granulated sugar. This is, what's exactly this called? It's called white sparkling sugar sprinkles. It's a little bit larger, a little more coarse, but that's going to add a little bit of a sweetness to it. You could also use Margarita salt if you so desire, but we're going to use the coarse sugar salt tonight. And I am going to garnish each of these glasses with a lime.
Put the lime in the
Put the
coconut.
lime in the coconut, yes. All right, then we've got our nice, oh, it's frothy. It's not gonna be enough in here for two, Claire. I must have miscalculated.
Just do half and half.
Maybe it'll be close. It'll be close. All right, well, I could always make some more. Done that before. Okay, so you've got this nice frothy coconut tequila white Christmas margarita. You can garnish it with a couple of cranberries if you'd so desire. And you have this wonderful little winter cocktail for next week, Christmas. White Christmas cocktail, even though we're not gonna have a white Christmas, right?
No.
Okay, so, bon appetit. What do you think?
It's strong,
It is strong.
but it's kind of good.
Strong, but kind of good. Perfect.
Awesome.
All right, cool.
Alrighty. So let me show you how to make the other two roll-up cakes. I know some of you were asking the technique. So instead of the chocolate cake, you can go ahead and in your bar pan, you can do an angel food cake in the parchment paper and just follow the directions, put it in, and then make sure you spread it out evenly, 350 degrees, and it's about 15-20 minutes. Or you can do one with pumpkin. So the pumpkin one, it calls for 1 can of pumpkin, but we actually did 2, and it really had the consistency of pumpkin pie. It was really quite yummy. And then flour and some different spices. So we did the same technique as we did I just showed you for the other one, but we, for the inside, did something different. We took some butter, we took a package of cream cheese, and you always want to soften this in the microwave for about 45 seconds, and then mix it with the butter and with some powdered sugar, about a cup, and then spread that over either the pumpkin or the angel food, and then you can roll that up. One thing you could do is take raspberry jam, and you could put that in your angel food. So I just want to show you what they look like. So with the pumpkin, you want to go ahead and just add a little, reserve just a little bit of pumpkin and add it to your mixture of the cream cheese, so rolling it up, and that's how you get that orange color that you see here. So what I like to do for the topping for these is to make some whipped cream, so you can just whip that up. And then I like to take cheesecake or white chocolate pudding, and I just mix this up with about a cup of milk, and I do half the package. And then I mix it with the whipped cream, and it makes a delicious topping that is just so good. So all you really have to do then is take a plate, and the question I asked when we were entertaining is, did you want pumpkin? Did you want the angel food or the chocolate, or do you want all of them? And you can easily, just taking a serrated knife, is to cut this, and you can see how nicely that goes with that. If this had the red in there, I think it would be super pretty, or the pumpkin. And you can, I hope you can see how moist this pumpkin is. It is definitely more moist than if you would use the 1 can. And then you can take your pumpkin mixture and you can just put that on, or I'm sorry, your whipped cream mixture, put it on top. And with the strawberries on top of this one, it just kind of gives it the little bit that it needs, just to make it super pretty, just like so. And there you go. So now you know 3 different recipes that you can make super easily by just making a cake roll. And I will post all these recipes for you so you can try them out. So there you go.
There you go.
Thanks for joining us
Hope
tonight.
you have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all of you. Thanks
see
for
you next
joining
time.
us.
Bye-bye.